Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here from QBKing77.com, here to do a full review video on the Studio X Plus from Blu. Now, I've had this device for a couple of weeks now, but it just got released to the public yesterday, so I've had a lot of hands-on. You'll notice I didn't do an unboxing video, but want to give you a quick rundown on what does come in the box. So aside from the charging cables and the booklets, etc., it does come with a screen protector, which is great. I'll talk about why it's very good that they include this in just a second. You get headphones as well. Nice addition, and you have a case that fits very nicely and has nice cutouts as well around the device. So some nice extras included. Now it's nice that they include this, and it's also a budget device. It has a 5.5-inch display, and it's only $150. It's kind of crazy just because of what's included in the box alone, and then some other features as well. Now let's get into the full review and my thoughts on the device. Now real quick, just want to talk about some specs. It has a 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor. It's a MediaTek processor, so maybe not as well known as Qualcomm. It has 1 gigabyte of RAM. It comes with Android 4.4 KitKat out of the box. It says it's upgradable to Android 5.0 Lollipop. I believe that update's slated for June. And also it's important to note it does not have LTE. It only has 4G HSPA+. Alright, so let's look at the design of the Studio X Plus. Now, it has 3 buttons because it has on-screen buttons. On the right side here, you have 1 power button. Now, it's important to note that it does kind of have a sleek design to it where it just kind of seems a little uniform with the buttons. And then on the left side here, you have the 2 volume buttons. They're just raised buttons. They feel a little cheap when you press them, but that's not a big deal for me because they look very sleek. And I mean, they work just fine. They just kind of feel a little cheap when you press them. But overall, it has a good feel in the hand. Honestly, it doesn't feel cheap in your hand. Like I said, only the button clicks feel just a little bit, but they've worked just fine, so I wouldn't worry about that. Overall, a good design, nice grip to it, nice texture. I mean, overall, I like the button placement with the volume right here, the power button right here. Now on the back of the device you have an 8 megapixel camera with an LED flash right here. I'll get more in depth in the camera a little bit later. You have a speaker right here. Speaker quality really hasn't been that good. I would say it doesn't get very loud either. It's one of the biggest complaints I have actually, is that 1 on the back, and 2, it really just doesn't get that loud. Now another very interesting design feature is on the bottom here. It has absolutely nothing. No slots for anything, but on the top you have both of them. The 3.5mm headphone jack and the micro USB slot to charge your device. Now, I'm not a big fan of the charging slot being on the top of the device. I guess it's not really a big deal because usually when I'm charging it, I'm either in the car or sleeping, so basically when I don't use it. Now, that being said, I'll talk about battery life in just a little bit. Now, I want to say something about the 3.5mm headphone jack. It gets really loud when you plug it in. Now, this is the first headphone jack I've used when I listen to music. I haven't had to turn my stereo up all the way when I use the auxiliary slot. It gets really loud. When I use headphones, I don't need to turn up the volume all the way because it gets so loud. Now, real quick, with the back cover taken off, you'll see it has a removable battery, and also it's a dual SIM phone, so a slot right here and a slot right there, and it also has a micro SD card slot with up to 64 gigabytes compatible. Now, like I said earlier, it includes a screen protector, and I'm glad about that. Honestly, the screen can get kind of dirty with fingerprints, a little bit more than I'm used to on most phones. It's kind of hard to tell now. I kind of cleaned it before I started this video, but overall it can get a little bit dirty, so it's great that they included a screen protector because that should protect it from fingerprints and getting dirty. And then finally you have your earpiece right there and a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. Now that's enough about the design. Let's go ahead and turn the device on. You'll see right away you have a large display. It's a 5.5-inch display, a 720p IPS LCD display. It has about 267 pixels per inch. Now it's hard to find a budget device with a 5.5-inch 720p display, so this is great, honestly, for those of you that do like a bigger display but don't have that much money to spend. Overall, I really want to talk about the display just because of it being a main selling point factor, especially with people in the market looking for bigger displays. Now, I would say this is very good for the price. I mean, overall, if it was a flagship device, I might have a little complaints about being able to see a couple pixels here and there, but overall, for $150, this is one of the best displays out there. Now, anyways, let's go ahead and go back to the lock screen. So turning this off, you have a couple shortcuts. So you have Google Now right there, and you have the camera shortcut right there. You have 2 camera shortcuts, which is a little interesting because you can swipe over and it'll go directly into the camera application. Now, anyway, speaking of the camera, let's go ahead and get into it. So Focusing doesn't take too long. I mean, it takes a little bit longer than some devices. It's an 8-megapixel shooter. You have a bunch of different options. You have HDR mode, flash. You can flip to the front-facing camera. Over here on the left here, you have live photo mode. You have face beauty mode. Just various nice added options to the camera application, obviously. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the pictures that I took, just to kind of give you an idea. That one I just took, obviously. So let me scroll through. So here's a video I took. I'll talk about that in just a second. It shoots in 1080p. Here's just a quick outside picture that I took. We can zoom in on that. But overall, I would say the picture quality I've been pretty pleased with. Looking at that, I mean, obviously the better the lighting, the better the picture, but this 8-megapixel camera is still pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's one of the best cameras out there, but I mean, like I said, for $150, this camera is very solid, and it takes some good pictures. Some faraway shots get kind of blurry. Obviously, this is just me shooting at some mud in my shoes right here. So just overall, it catches the detail nice. The colors look pretty good. In low light, it can get kind of iffy, but luckily it does have an LED flash on the back as well. And as I said, I have this 1080p test video, which I'll probably upload as an unlisted video. I'll just post the link in the description if you wanted to check it out. Got some videoception going on right now. So like I said, I'll upload it to YouTube Raw. I won't make any edits to it, so you can check it out for yourself. Make sure you change the settings on the YouTube video for yourself. But anyways, let's talk about battery life now. I'll get to performance and software in just a second, but battery life I want to talk about. You'll see I'm at about 62% right now. That's with getting ready for a review and stuff, but overall battery life has been very good. Another thing I've been impressed with, it has a 2600 milliamp hour battery, and it usually lasts me just about all day. So screen on time at the moment is about an hour and a half. I'll usually get about just over 4 hours screen on time depending what I'm doing. Again, I'm on Wi-Fi now, but like I said, it does not have LTE, so if you turn off Wi-Fi, it's going to switch to my HSPA Plus while on T-Mobile. Now I want to go ahead and run a quick speed test on the HSPA Plus just so you can see the kind of speeds I can get. I can get pretty decent speeds, not as good as LTE, but usually pretty decent. I'm on T-Mobile right now, and again, this is going to vary based on your location. If you're someone that doesn't even get LTE in your area, then this kind of is a no-brainer to maybe even potentially consider a phone that doesn't have LTE. But you'll see finished 4.5 megabits per second download, 1.5 megabits per second upload. That's enough to watch videos, download some files, look at Facebook, all that stuff. So pretty much good enough to do basic things on your phone. Alright, let's talk about software and performance. So like I said, it runs Android 4.4 KitKat. 2 fingers gets you to your quick settings right here. Here's a list of all your quick settings. A little bit customized. You'll see timeout. It has a cast screen option within here. So overall, it's essentially stock Android with just very, very minor tweaks. Even more minor than Motorola's tweaks. And it's really nice, actually. They didn't use their Blues overlay or anything like that. You'll see just some different icons here. Go into settings, scroll down, go to about device, and you'll see Android 4.4.2. Like I said, it's going to get upgraded to Lollipop hopefully around June. Some other added things is that you'll see there's audio profiles right here. Various ones where you're at if you want to have audio enhancer for your earphone, which is up here maybe if you're on a phone call and you're in a loud area. There's also scheduled power on and off if you want to turn it on or off at a certain time. That's another nice added feature. Now when it comes to performance, I have been really impressed, honestly. Multitasking has been great. You'll see it has the KitKat multitasking screen, but going between apps, it's been very fluid and very smooth. I can go back and you'll see the video player stayed up. Even with that 1 GB of RAM, it still does a pretty good job at memory management on KitKat right here. I don't know, hopefully with Lollipop they may add some features as well to make memory management just as good as it is now. But I mean, overall, the speed of just multitasking, going through your specific apps, when I'm gaming, things are very fluid, very smooth, even if it's a high-end game. And like I said, for $150, this is one of the quickest devices you can get. Alright, so just want to give some very final thoughts on the Studio X Plus from Blu. Now, hands down, if you can deal without LTE, this is the best phone you can buy for $150. Hands down. I've had very good experience with it, just taking pictures have been solid. I mean, the only thing I could say is the speaker could have been a little better, but again, a lot of people don't even listen to music out of their computer speakers, and the headphone jack's crazy, as I talked about earlier. Now, battery life has been good, screen has been good, 5.5-inch display on a budget device, 720p as well. like I said, it's a great device. I'd say go for it if you're in the market for a budget device and looking for a bigger display as well. But anyways, that's my final thoughts. Expect a lot more coverage from me to come. I'll do a video updating you on the Lollipop update on this as well. Just more device reviews, tutorials, etc. Lots to come, so be sure to click that subscribe button. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. All links will be in the description video below. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.